I met Marcel in nursery. We were both 3 years old.
My first actual memory of him was he gave me a banana on my birthday. And then I got him a banana on his birthday. And the banana was a very Marcel thing. Yeah. And that's the first thing I remember.
And I just remember us sitting under a tree with Mrs. Doig, and we were just on the green bit and we were just talking, and he came down, sat next to me, being that warm person he was. And that was it really. We've just been friends ever since.
He was the best friend anyone could really ask for. He was always there for me. He always knew what to say, and he always knew how to make me laugh.
And I remember at the time he had I think it was the iPhone 6 Plus, and it was like no one else had a Plus phone. And I remember saying to him, I was like, why do you need a phone this big? And he said, so I can watch Netflix on a bigger screen. And so since then we kind of just, we were just friends from that point really, and then we just got closer.
It was quite an odd meeting. So basically, back in year 7, you used to do streaks. I used to get a picture and then send it to everyone I did streaks with, right? I accidentally sent one to Marcel. And I'd never spoken to him at this point. And I was there like, oh no, what have I done here?
Like, do you remember streaks? Everyone would do streaks.
Yes, he was the king.
Was the one that I would remember. He would tap through it and he would have to scroll like 10 times to do and 20 people on each scroll. Like, it was hundreds of people all from different schools. Like, that was back in the day.
That
your way of
saying,
Marcel. Yeah, that was your way of saying I guess you're friends with someone if you had a streak with them.
Yeah.
Anyway, next thing you know, our streak's gone on for a year. Just back and forth. And we're still barely spoken to each other. Then I saw him in school and it was like, we've got a streak together, this is a bit mad. We've actually never spoken to each other, but we've got a 1 year streak. This is kind of weird. Then we just hit a conversation and start bouncing off each other. It was jokes.
It was never serious, and it would always be just happy and laughing.
So it started off as almost just a normal friendly relationship, and the next thing you know,
it was more like the kind of friend you could tell anything to, and I could trust him with anything, and we did tell everything to each other.
I just kind of remember him sort of always being in my life.
And so it was until year 10 when we got put into the same science class, and then we were just he was my partner in science and everything, and we just stayed together. And obviously science was a subject you'd have all the time, so then we became a lot closer through that. And I remember there would be whenever he would not be in, for example, he wouldn't come to school that day, I would literally be how am I gonna do today? How am I gonna do the lesson?
He was just such a good friend, and always even if you had a problem, he would always listen to you. And I would never feel if I said something to him that I would get judged.
Didn't know one person that didn't like Marcel.
What was he like as a person? 3 words.
I would just describe him as such a good laugh.
I would say funny.
Caring.
Genuine.
Supportive.
Smart.
Can I have 50 words?
Good at languages. That's 3.
Proper genuine guy. You rarely meet people that are honest in the way they are.
And my dad always used to my dad would try to speak French, and Marcel would always come around our house speaking French to my dad and stuff like that.
He came around your house, he wouldn't speak to you, he everyone.
He was best friends with my mom.
Yeah.
But I used to love it when he'd get a call from his mum and I could just hear him talking to her in Polish on the phone. I loved it.
I remember if I was with him and I was on the phone to my mum or something, he'd be like, "Hi Mary," down the phone.
Absolute genius. I honestly I could be doing German. I've been doing German since year 7 and I'm there what's going on still? He comes into the class, hasn't done German GCSE. Next thing you know, he's speaking fluently.
He did French, German,
Spanish,
Russian.
Yeah.
Polish?
He was learning Italian outside of school as well or something.
Yeah, that's 6, wow.
Even when he was completely drunk, he could still switch from 5 different languages. It was just ridiculous.
You always have funny drunk stories of him.
Because us two, at that point, I think it was in year 10, we probably looked like the oldest out of everyone in our group. And we tried, we ordered 2 ciders at Big Easy, and we both got served without our ID. And we were getting so excited.
Everyone just stood around. Marcel was really drunk. And then someone said something about Mateus being in the area or something. He's like, no, oh no, Mateus. And literally extends his arms, falls back from the wall, literally smashes down.
I went on Snapchat and all I see is these videos and there's just him sitting on the wall. And the next thing you know, he's flopped onto the floor and the wall's broken.
I wasn't even there, but I was inside. And someone's running saying, the wall, Marcel's broke the wall. I'm what?
Oh, Marcel at parties and events was the life and soul of every single party.
And then you see, because Hamza was it's a secret motive, his parents weren't supposed to know. And then it just obviously like his wall falls down, so his parents are gonna know.
Bless him, but because it's Marcel, you just
exactly.
You gotta let him off.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time a song comes on, he's the one in the middle jumping and laughing and screaming his head off.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Whenever Tiger would come on at a party, I'd run over to Marcel and we'd sing it together.
That one and then Trap Queen.
Yeah, Trap Queen as well. And Rad's Not Hot.
Everyone loved him and everyone wanted to dance with him. And he was always smiling and he'd be singing and dancing.
He was always like dancing, laughing, telling jokes, screaming, shouting.
He just was always surrounded by people. He was always in the middle.
He was the funniest person I knew, to be honest.
Anytime I see, and this is going to sound so stupid, but anytime I go into a shop and I see hairspray, I will automatically think of Marcel. I remember in year 8, he ran out of hairspray so many times and he'd be like, Forcia, I beg, just bring a hairspray bottle to school. Just give it to me, I'll pay you back, I promise. And he'd make me carry a 500ml bottle of hairspray in my school bag just for him to use on his hair. And
The famous quiff thing he did, I don't even know.
That famous quiff. The little...
the flip up.
Yeah.
He just has like so many kind of like iconic things about him.
He had great hair.
He really
Let's not lie.
And when he got that buzz cut,
I was just thinking, what are you doing? Why'd you get a buzz cut?
I told him it was a mistake, but then it kind of grew out, and I was like, okay.
It suits him.
Yeah, he used to come through with his drippy Tommy Hilfiger jackets and jumpers and God knows what. And even I think his school bag was Tommy Hilfiger as well. This guy used to live in the shop, I'm pretty sure.
And he convinced me that his nan lived in a treehouse in Poland. And there was a little like treehouse climbing frame thing, and he just was telling me about his nan's treehouse on it, and I believed it for years.
We're at Sophie's house, right? And we're like, let's go upstairs. So we went upstairs, went into Sophie's room. I don't know what the reason for it was. But we went in there, and then suddenly, next thing you know, we're just like trying on all her like fluffy coats and stuff.
He was such a clown. I remember that. I remember the rap battles as well.
We're just laughing out of our minds. So like, there's me with her pink coat, and like it's got this massive load of like a fluffy hood, and then he's got some like gilet, but it's like full of like grey fur. Anyway, it's just we've got a picture of it, right? And every time I look at that picture, it just makes me laugh.
You know, on Snapchat you get them like posts, like satisfying posts. You know the ones with like the soap, and then you get the knife.
The soap cutting.
Yeah. You get the knife and you like
I love
cut
that
it
one.
off, and they crumble off. I remember like so many times like in our chat, it would just be like sending each other like their videos. So I feel like even though I don't really see them often, but like if I saw a video like of that soap thing, I think of things. I remember he used to love like satisfying things.
Yeah.
And I like to look at photos of him and of us to remind myself of him. And he always looks so happy in the photos, so it's always a nice memory when I look at them.
So I think we went on a bike ride once, you know, like Santander bikes.
And we just were cycling around like the Olympic Park and getting lost.
He had a jumper on and he wasn't wearing a t-shirt underneath. And I was like, why are you not wearing a t-shirt underneath your jumper? He was like, because it's so much comfier. I was like, what do you mean it's so much comfier? He was like, trust me, try it out. And like from now on, I don't wear a t-shirt underneath my jumpers because honestly, it just makes it feel so much nicer. So that like reminds me of him.
Because for my birthday this year, my sister got me a picture of me and Marcel for at prom, and I've hung that in my room. And like whenever I look at that, like I always just have like a moment just to think about myself of like where he is now, how's he doing, and just something just to remember him by, I suppose.
He meant a lot to me, as he did so many people, and he didn't realise how important he was.
Like he was 18. He was talented. He had how many fluent languages? 6, something like that. And so he had so much potential. Like that opened so many doors. Like that's so unique to be able to do that.
Was it an apprenticeship or a job?
I think it was with ITV, an apprenticeship, and I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Very diligent guy, like very driven. If he had something in mind, no matter what the goal was, he was going to get to that goal.
I feel like I've spent so much time like thinking about what I could have said.
Too many things I could say.
The main thing is just, I love you. And so many people love you.
Probably just wanted to say like I just love you, I can't lie. Because that's probably what I would have said to all my friends now when I see them. But I never actually got the chance to say that to him. So that's probably what I really wanted to say to him.
I would, if I saw him, I'd probably end up apologising for hours and saying, I'm sorry I didn't do this, and I wish I'd done this instead.
But I think I've been told
Yeah.
he'd know how much we loved him. But it's different when you hear it. And I think that's what I regret so much.
I think he knew like how much we loved him, but we never said that we loved him, and that's the main difference here.
I suppose above all everything, I'm just gonna say like I'm happy for you. I'm happy that at least now, whatever it was going on, at least now you're at rest. At least now you're at peace.
And I know he's not in pain now.
I love you, Marcel, and I'll miss you forever, and hope one day we'll be together again. But until then, stay strong and keep wearing your hoodies without a t-shirt. And I'll see you in a bit.